Shalom, welcome to Meron, Eretz Israel. I'm Avram Shira. It's Erev Shabbat, Parshat Mishpatim. We're here on the roof of Rebbe Shimon Yochai. You see behind me the blue domes and the mountains in the distance, and a lot of kids running around playing, having a good time. Erev Shabbat. This parsha is very interesting. Erev Mishpatim asher tasim lifneihem. That God wants these statutes put in front of the Jews by Moses. And the first thing the Zohar, Rebbe Shimon Yochai, tells us that these laws, which are very practical laws, it starts out with the laws of a servant that works for 6 years, is set free in the 7th year. And the Zohar says, don't think that these are just laws about the practical everyday matters of Jewish life. They are the laws and of the governance of souls when they have to go to heaven or to the Gehinnom or to reincarnation or to, there's other places that you don't want to know about, but where you don't even get either or, you wait. You wait in the great waiting room, and that's the hardest probably. But nonetheless, he tells us a really beautiful distinction, Rabbi Shimon does, that the soul of a person needs to be fixed, comes back to this world, only if he's not admitted to Gehinnom, to what they call hell in English. That Gehinnom, the 11 months, is a purification process and a holy fire that leaves a person clean and free to go into the upper spheres of what's called Gan Eden. And remember, all this is hard for a lot of people to believe, for sure. But when you understand that your soul is more refined than anything of this world, then you can understand why your soul can enter into places that are not in this world. See, the more refined you are, the more places you're allowed in. The humbler you are, the more easy it is to slip into the higher realms. And so the work here is refinement in this world, and that refinement enables us to rise up into the higher spheres. Now, if a person doesn't merit that car wash, of fire, then he has the option of Gilgulim, and you should know that souls do get an option sometimes, not always, but sometimes. And the option of Gilgulim is much harder, the Zohar tells us. It tells us that the option of reincarnation is very difficult because the soul has to go back into this world. This world is the hardest place to be because it's long term, and it could take 70 years, the Zohar says, for a person to get another chance to fix what he needed to fix. Because if you miss a chance, God will give you 1,000 chances. But if we miss a chance, we have to wait till the next chance. Okay. But the third case, the Zohar says, is like this, that a tzaddik, a righteous person, which the Rambam defines as a person who has 51% good deeds, a person with 51% good deeds is called a tzaddik, is called a righteous person. Such a person, he can come back in this world and not have to face all the struggles that it takes to make it through this place, but rather his tikkun, his fixing, is through learning and praying. That his learning and praying becomes the tools of the refinement that he needs to enter the upper realm. See, so you could work in a very difficult job, and that's your refinement. And you could work, it could be a physical job, it could be a stress job, it could be a high-tech job in a skyscraper. But the stress level is really the measurement of what the job is doing for us. You see, we don't really work for money. We work for spiritual refinement, and money is the payoff to get us to do the work. And so when you understand that principle, that we're here for refinement and not to make money, but the money, the paycheck, the prizes on your wall and all those kind of things, all of that is to get us to do the work of refinement in the first place. So the Zohar says that a person who is righteous, his path of refinement is learning and praying and learning, and it's not doing the hard work, which we all know about, getting up 9 to 5, 6 days a week for 40, 50 years. And those kind of people, their work is much more difficult, as we can imagine. So we should, count yourself lucky if you want to learn, if you want to pray, if you're here for that. And if you're not, well, then maybe it's a new choice about how I get my refinement. Because one way or the other, we're going to be coming back here, or we're going to be going through the big car wash, or we're going to be sitting and learning and praying until our soul is refined enough to enter the place that we came from, and a much higher place, as a matter of fact, according to how much we do. So we should be blessed this Shabbat with that opportunity of refinement, of working on the character traits that need to be fixed, working on the perceptions that we hold dearly that perhaps are not exactly what is defined as the way a holy Jewish person would think about people and about this world and about God. A lot of people have a problem with God, and that's understandable when you're getting the wrong theology from the wrong religion, or that type of situation is something that we work on individually, with ourselves, with rabbis, with the Mekubalim, who can help us understand that our perception of God is a very limited thing, but God's perception is unlimited. We have to trust that. Anyways, you should have a wonderful Shabbat, all of you, and we will see you next week on all the platforms, on Patreon, YouTube, Inside Timer, Web Yeshiva, Facebook, and I guess a few others are going to be coming down soon. So God bless you all. Shabbat Shalom.